Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror series, Cabinet of Curiosities, Dreams in the Witch House. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The story begins with the narrator mentioning the renowned author H.P. Lovecraft. He states that Lovecraft was scared of the world we live in and thought of it as a haunted house of cosmic proportions. After further introspection, he says that today's story is called Dreams in the Witch House. Now we see the body of a man named Walter flat on the floor while a narration tells us that this is a tale of love and life. The narrator hints at being Walter himself and promises us a happy ending. The scene transitions to a house where Walter is a little boy trying to help his sister, who's being haunted by visions of a ghost. Sister says that the ghost is coming to get her, but Walter says he's going to keep her safe using his ghost-proof muscles. Despite this, Sister passes away, and then her ghost pops up in front of Walter. To make matters worse, an unseen force drags her body away and takes her into another dimension through the Forest of Lost Souls. In the future, Walter is shown to be an employee of the Spiritualistic Club so that he can bring his sister back to the real world. He and his friend Buddy watch an old lady perform a ritual. She pukes out ectoplasm and convinces everyone that there's a bridge between worlds. The show ends, so Walter follows after the old lady, but she's revealed to be a scam artist. This is bad news for Walter, so he tries to figure out another way to rescue his sister back to the human world. However, Buddy says that he's going to take up a new job because the Spiritualistic Club doesn't pay much. This upsets Walter, so he rebukes Buddy and walks away. After reminiscing about his memories with his sister, Walter goes to meet his bald boss. It turns out that a female painter is asking for Bald Boss's help because she's being forced to paint the visions that she's receiving from a witch who was believed to have the ability to travel through worlds. However, Bald Boss ignores the hairy painter and sends her away along with a blind nun who is there to offer her prayers. To make things worse, Bald Boss tells Walter the Spiritualistic Club is running out of money, so he needs to find other work. He forcefully becomes a bartender and is visited by his friend Buddy, who is now a successful man. Buddy wants Walter to live a better life, but Walter tells him to shut up his smelly mouth. Later, Walter overhears some men talking about the Forest of Lost Souls, and this eventually leads him to a cowboy man. Cowboy man tells Walter that his sister's spirit has indeed traveled to another dimension. Walter urges Cowboy man to help and see sister again, so he is taken to a secret club. There, Walter is given some liquid gold that will help him travel between worlds. He drinks the liquid gold and falls to the chair, after which he wakes up inside an alternate dimension. An evil vine pulls him out of the room and into the Forest of Lost Souls. Walter can suddenly hear his sister's voice, so he rushes to her for an emotional reunion, but he gets dragged away by the vine and taken back to the real world. Walter finds himself on the floor, so the cowboy man says that he should lie on the pillows next time when he decides to travel. Walter immediately rushes to Buddy to tell him about what just happened, but his words fall on deaf ears. Buddy confesses that he never believed in Walter's story about sister in the first place, and also scolds him for trusting shady strangers with shady chemicals. Walter doesn't care about Buddy's negative attitude, so he leaves in a fit of rage. He takes another dose of the liquid gold and goes back to the Forest of Lost Souls. This time, Walter spots Panker, but she runs away from him. Now Walter finally finds his sister and is happily reunited with her. They quickly have a catch-up session, after which he tells her that he's going to take her back home. However, Sister reveals that she's tried to escape this place before, but hasn't been able to do so. Right then, the vine drags Walter back to the real world, but not before he takes a piece of Sister's cloth with him. Walter quickly goes through a mythological book and learns of the same witch that Painter had mentioned earlier, who had the ability to travel through worlds. It turns out that the witch has been tortured and killed, but she left behind a key that could allow people to travel through worlds. Therefore, Walter finds the location of the witch's house and goes to his bald boss to ask for rental funds. However, Bald Boss accuses the hairy Walter of using drugs, even though Walter shows him his sister's cloth to prove that he's not lying. Bald Boss terminates Walter from the Spiritualistic Club, so he makes his way out. Later, Walter finds the witch's house and takes a room there, even though it's worse than a shady hotel. There's a rat problem as well, but this rat has a shocking human face and even laughs like a peeping cat after munching on the power supply. Walter curses his luck as the lights go out, but he continues looking for some answers regarding the key's location. He manages to follow some clues to spot a drawing of the key on his walls. However, at night, Walter experiences sleep paralysis and is unable to move. Suddenly, the witch arrives in the form of a monster to flex her monstrous figure and is about to harm him. But then, the human rat arrives and reveals that he's the witch's familiar. The witch points out that Walter is a twin, and it gives the human rat some hope, because they can use Walter's body to reclaim both of their lost lives, as they are both spirits themselves. The witch reveals to Walter through some scribbling that he can bring his sister back to the real world because they are twins. After the encounter, Walter wakes up from his dream and takes the liquid gold again. Afterward, he sets off to save his sister. Walter wakes up in the alternate world and goes to find his sister in the forest of lost souls, but the witch and the human rat have also followed him here. This causes ripples in the forest, so sister finds Walter and warns him that his actions will have serious consequences. But Walter maintains that he can take her home because the witch mentioned that twins will be able to pass through the alternate worlds without any fuss. However, the human rat appears and ridicules the siblings for their stupid escape plan. He calls the witch to attack them. A fast and furious chase follows, and the siblings are almost through to the portal. But the witch catches Walter and Tom massages him to regain her vitality. Sister comes back to save Walter, and both of them pass through the portal after a brief struggle. Walter is happy to see his sister with him again, even though she's a ghost. But at that time, the rat also appears to flex his ugly human face and attacks the siblings without mercy. Walter and sister run away from him and meet Painter to ask for her help, as Walter had seen her inside the alternative world before. Painter is shocked to see Walter's sister, whom she has also painted. She then reveals that whatever she's been painting has turned out to be true. After getting Walter's full story, Painter combines her paintings and reveals that Walter and his ghost sister are mutually exclusive. This means that for his sister to become human, Walter has to become a ghost. Painter further states that the witch is going to kill Walter by sunrise to reclaim her life, causing sister to disappear out of sadness. Now, Painter takes Walter to the church, where they meet the blind nun. Painter asks for shelter, but the blind nun says that even this holy church is not strong as ghost-proof and will not be able to protect them from the demonic powers of the witch. Walter calls Buddy over and asks for his help, but he maintains that Walter has lost his mind. Walter grows weaker with each passing moment, so the witch returns to feast on his body and smelly part. Blind nun tries to fight her, but gets killed in the process. The witch takes Walter away after a brief struggle, and then sister shows herself to Buddy, much to his surprise. The witch is about to kill Walter to free herself and become human again, but sister teleports in time to make the witch stab herself in the eye. The witch dies because of that, and then sister shares an emotional moment with Walter, after which she finally attains salvation. Walter drops to the floor, and then we see the human rat approaching his body. Later, Walter is taken care of by Painter and Buddy, but Buddy notices something off with the ceiling, which is still wet. He goes to check it out with Painter, and is shocked to find the rotting corpses of the witch and the human rat. Suddenly, Walter feels something weird inside his stomach, and screams in pain, but in a chicken voice. Buddy and Painter rush to his aid, but it's of no use, as we learn that the human rat had entered Walter's body earlier. Now he rips out of Walter's chest, killing him for good. Buddy tries to kill the human rat, but to no avail, as he escapes. Buddy wants to help Walter, but Painter tells him the sun has risen, so her painting's prediction has come true. After they leave, the human rat reappears and enters Walter's body. This allows him to possess Walter, and we learn that the narrator at the beginning wasn't Walter, but the human rat instead. The movie ends with the human rat beginning his new life inside Walter's body. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.